Welcome back, everyone, to the next installment of Chaos Child. We narrowly avoided the pyromaniac, whom at this point we suspect might be Senri Minawisawa. We know it's not. It's fine. But whoops, we went to grab for our embarrassing Cool Cat magazine, and we fell toward or on, or I don't know what, Arimura. Why was she looking at me that way? What do I do? Well, I'll go silly. Wait, this was just like... No, wait. Did I really not? Minamikata had said it, after all. If you pin a woman down, she'll do whatever you want. I should have gone R2. I really... And she actually wanted you to. That... Ooh, I should have gone for violence. I didn't actually believe it, but maybe it was true and I just didn't know it. Then maybe... Oh, man. Could we not? Actually, there was a whole special on it, wasn't there? It was the July 1999 issue, I think. I just know this. It's in my brain. That bratty little girl a year or two younger than you was actually just waiting for you to make a forceful move. That's not at all incredibly toxic. Don't worry about it, everybody. Also, don't try this at home, for the love of God. A forceful move. That meant... That, okay. The one making the move was responsible. I agree with that. Huh?
じゃあ私たちが襲われたことも先輩が？でもどうして？決まってるだろう。君をここに連れ込むためだ。
You know, I was just about to say, boy, that's a long con, but then I remembered this game's entire plot, so, never mind. I grabbed her by the wrists and pinned her to the bed. I am gonna mash through this so fast it'll make your head spin. For some reason, Arimura didn't resist. She just stared back into my eyes. Well, we wouldn't, intentionally, but remember the plot of this entire game. Despite what she said, her eyes were dewy and shining in the light of the fluorescent bulbs above. As proof. I mean, if she's into that, good for her, but I don't think I like the advice this is attempting to perpetuate. Cool Cat Press was right! All hail Cool Cat Press! Ugh.
Senpai, kite.
Whoa, I know this is just a delusion, but whoa! Oh my god! Okay, everybody, what I want you to do is look at this screen and really think about this. I want you to burn this image into your head because, yeah, that's not happening. Wait, didn't I think about this once before? Man, I never learn, do I? Okay, everybody, I want you to look at the screen.
Senpai, 早くどいてくれないと大声出しますよ。
That's more like it. We did accidentally fall on her. I leapt off her and started to grab the magazines off the floor.
その雑誌。
これは違うんだ。
She knows I'm lying. I'd screwed up. I'd never imagined that a younger girl would see these.
違うって何がですか?
Oh no. She's really got us.
だから。
Oh, right. No matter what kind of excuse I came up with, Arimura would realize it was a lie. Gigalomaniacs. What an obnoxious power.
何笑ってるんだよ。
ほんと先輩って分かりやすいなと思って。
悪かったな、分かりやすくて。
別に悪くはないですって。私にとってはその方が付き合いやすいですし。
Yeah, she did make a point of that, especially with Ito.
あ、付き合うって言っても別に変な意味じゃないですからね。
念を押さなくったってそれくらい分かってるよ。
Even I wasn't dumb enough to misunderstand that.
だったらいいんですけど。
Arimura slowly stood up and looked out the window. You could still hear the faint noises of police and fire truck sirens in the distance. Come to think of it, I'd already forgotten that I almost died out there. Why? No, there was no need to ask why. It was because of Arimura. If I was here alone, I'd probably still be shaking. I wasn't trying to say that after what happened, Arimura was now someone special to me or anything like that. But in the past few hours, the thick wall between the two of us felt like it had gotten a little thinner.
さてと、それじゃあ私はそろそろ。
帰るのか？
いつまでもここにいるわけにもいられないですし、それとも泊まっていけとでも言います？
言わないよ。
Damn it, she was making fun of me.
大丈夫です。一応人気のありそうなところを通って帰りますから。さすがにこの騒ぎの中、ことを起こすとも思えないですし。
She was probably right, I thought. But
送っていこうか。
どうしてですか？
心配だからに決まってるだろ。
心配？私が？
一応それでも女の子だからな。送っていくのは男の役目だろ。
how noble, considering the trigger delusion we just had. That... I don't know what I expected. That's what Cool Cat Press had said. This 1990s magazine is a man's duty.
もしかしてそれもあの雑誌の受け売りですか？
Oh no, I can't answer her directly or she'll know for sure.
違う。
Blew it.
先輩ってやっぱりわかりやすい。
Damn it, I give up.
それもあるけど、やっぱり危ないと思って。何？
それは本当なんだ。
It is dangerous. It's clearly dangerous.
いえ、なんでもお気持ちだけいただいておきます。
Arimura cheerfully walked toward the exit and stopped and turned around before she got to the door. Well, she got to the door.
今日はありがとうございました。先輩のおかげで助かりました。ということにしておきます。ではでは、アディオスグラッシャー。
She bowed her head slightly and left.
しておきますは余計だろ。
Yeah, that was kind of funny. Strangely, though, it didn't bother me. Anyway,
ギガロマニアックス。
I'd used some kind of power to control that woman's flames. Arimura had said that was my power, but that was the only time I'd been able to use it. Let's try this again. I took a deep breath to calm myself. Okay, we're still new territory. My power. At first it was so hazy I had to focus to see it at all, but gradually it began to form a definite shape in the corner of my eye. It was twisted yet beautiful, disgusting yet pure. Its very presence was so overwhelming that it was impossible to believe it belonged to this world. I reached out my hand fearfully, but I couldn't even touch it. What had I done before? That's right, when she'd attacked me with her flames, I'd... Was this my... It was just a message. That scared me. It was from Arimura. I made it home safe. Well, that didn't take long. I was surprised you'd be thoughtful enough to let me know. Either way, I was glad nothing had happened. Hooray! After I put down the phone, I tried a lot of different ways to strengthen my power, and then at some point I fell asleep. I wouldn't know until morning what had happened to the woman after that. Or are we going to go back to a main route? 2005. They say that every person has a single image somewhere in their mind that defines who they are. For Hanai Arimura, that image was of her family, seated around the dinner table. Yeah, I mean, this is the Arimura chapter, but... Huh. Her mom and dad, and her brother. The four of them sitting around the table. That image, more than anything else, defined the kind of person that Hinaya was. Her mom and dad both worked, and on weekdays they'd often come home late. Sometimes they didn't even come home at all. But Hinaya never felt alone. She was never alone because she had an older brother. Yeah, didn't she lose her brother at some point? That was a big, traumatic thing. Her parents had told her that when she was born, he'd been the happiest boy in the world. But she didn't need to hear that to know how much she meant to her brother. Hinaya had always had a pretty face ever since she was a baby, and she'd always been popular. But her brother loved her more than anyone. Whenever Hinaya cried, he'd always tried to make her feel better, and when it was time for her to sleep, he'd rock her in his arms. He was in one of the older classes at elementary school, and he'd probably wanted to play with his friends. He'd had a lot of friends, actually, and every day they'd invite him over. Again, notice that he had a lot of friends. He'd had. But he would always turn them down and come straight home to be with Hinaya. With their parents working so much, he spent a lot of time alone in the house. He probably didn't want Hinaya to go through the same thing. Normally acting like that would cost him his friends, but that had never happened. He was just that good of a big brother. As Hinaya got older, she became more and more like a young girl, and her brother loved her even more. Her parents decided that Hinaya could safely be left in her brother's care and started to come home even later. But every Sunday they were always home. Sometimes they'd all go out somewhere for the day, then come back in the evening to eat at the dinner table. That was the rule at the Arimura household. There was always warm food, and her family was always smiling. That was what happiness meant to her. See, this is so bad, because I think she lost her brother, and she's got some issue with her parents at this point that we don't know why it is. It was something so natural and so normal that she never doubted it. And it was the truth. The first thing I did when I got to school the next morning was tell Sarika what had happened. I had no way of knowing what had happened to that woman after that. I checked the news when I woke up, but not only did I not find a name, I couldn't even find anyone reporting on the attack. But there were a lot of people on the social networks talking about the strange woman. After all that chaos, the police had to have known about her. Still, I didn't know what would happen next. I was a little hesitant to go to school, but I figured she wouldn't be willing to attack me in broad daylight. And since I'd made it here safely, and since I'd made it here, I must have been right.
それで、その後どうしたの？
どうって、有村と僕の部屋に逃げ込んだ。
部屋って、あのトレーラーハウスに？
それ以外にどこがある？二人で？そりゃそうだ。僕たちを襲った女も一緒にいちゃおかしいじゃないか。
なるほどね。
It felt like she was implying something, and I just couldn't tell what it was.
なんだよ、急にニヤニヤしちゃって。
だってさ、あのタクが女の子と二人で部屋にだよ。これってすごいことじゃない？
失礼な。いいか、いつも言ってるように僕はリア充なんだ。その程度のこと別に珍しくなんてない。
じゃあ、あそこに移ってから女の子が部屋に来たことは
？You have.
しょっちゅう。
私とのんちゃんを除くと？
Uh-oh.
ほらほら、初めてでしょ？でしょ？
うるさいな。
で、何かあったりした？
Sarika's voice dropped into a conspiratorial whisper as she grinned at me.
何かってなんだよ。
またまたとぼけちゃって、そんなの決まってるでしょ？
あるわけないだろ。そもそも僕たちは襲われたんだぞ。それどころじゃないって。
そんなこと言って、本当はまんざらでもなかったり？
だから違うってば。
あらら、そこにいるのは。
Keep in mind, by the way, Sarika can't necessarily tell if we're lying or telling the truth, but she can read our minds, so she really can tell if we're lying. I turned around and saw Arimura herself waving at us.
Arimura.
はーい、 有村です。宮代先輩、チャオっす。
Arimura was acting nothing like the way she did last night in my room, and I wasn't sure how to deal with it. But I guess she was always like this at school.
セリもチャオっす。チャオっす、ひなちゃん。
At least she hadn't heard what we were talking about. Time to change the subject.
で、一体何が違うってんですか？
Uh-oh.
もしかして聞いてたのか？
まんざらでもないとか違うとか何の話だったんです？ねえ、教えてくださいよ。いいでしょ？ね？
Oh, she's good, because again, either I have to redirect or answer, and if I answer, she'll know.
それがね、実は。
違うんだ。別に大した話じゃなくて。
Her voice was chipper, but her eyes weren't laughing at all. That's right, there was no way I could lie to Arimura.
ただ昨日の話をしてただけだよ。
昨日の？昨日のねえ。そうですか。
Huh? That must have been good enough for her. I'd expected her to be more suspicious. Oh, that's right. Arimura could only tell if I was lying or telling the truth. In other words, I was safe as long as I didn't tell her everything. Maybe I could use that with Arimura in the future.
そうだ。そんなことより宮代先輩、これ見てくださいよ。
Arimura gently rubbed her hair, which she'd tied up to the side.
髪がどうかしたのか？
わかりません？ほら、ここ。髪の毛のここんとこ。昨日のあれでチリチリボーンになっちゃって。
I mean, that's fair, but based on this visual, no, I can't tell, except that she had black ribbons last night and white ribbons today.
どこ？
I got closer to look, but I couldn't really tell.
ほら、ここっすよ、ここ。
ああ、本当だ。でもこのくらい大したことないだろ。
ああ、なんすかその言い方。女子の髪の毛をなんだって思ってんですか？だいたい先輩がさっさとなんとかしてくんないからですよ。
何言ってんだ。そんなのただの言いがかりだろ。なあお前。お前？
This is so awkward.
先輩、セリどうしちゃったんすか？
ああ、こいつ昔からこういうところがあるんだ。気にしないでくれ。
She was probably thinking about something stupid again. But if I asked about it, I'd probably have a mess on my hands.
あ、そうだ。それより宮代先輩、例の能力のことですけど。
She was whispering, so I whispered too.
なあ、そのことなら僕の方からも話がある。
例の能力って、もしかしてあの剣が見えるとかいう？
Just out loud.
セリ、誰が聞いてるかわかんないんだから、そんな大きな声で話すなっつーの。ごめん。それで先輩。
ああ、実は少しだけどコントロールできるようになってきたかも。
それってタクも不思議な力が使えるようになったってこと？セリ
Again, out loud. After what had happened yesterday, I'd been tired, but I'd done what I could to learn more about my power. It looked like I needed to use someone else's brain to make my delusions real, so I asked Gen to be my guinea pig, knowing Gen he'd be so drunk that he'd forget after a day or so. As a result...
ちょっとくらい軽いものなら動かせるようになった。
It's still bugging me that, like, Gen somehow got me this RV. I guess he's got some kind of clout or power, but we never came back to that, unless that comes back in another branch. Same thing with Kazuki. she's always playing ESO, but she got super interested whenever we break out the bulletin board and when we were talking about psychic powers. But other than that, just, oh well, she's just person in newspaper club, I guess, unless this is pursued in yet another branch.
ちょっとくらいって、例えば石とかですか？
いや、もうちょっとか
な。じゃあ、ノートとか？
2、3ページくらいなら。
何それ、そんなんじゃスカートめくりくらいにしか使えないじゃん。
Which, in fact, we tried in the main branch, so, yeah. Although obviously we got better with our powers because we threw Serica around a couple times.
今はまだ大したことないかもしれないけど、そのうちもっと大きいものだって動かせるようになるって。
Okay, yeah, we got it, we got it. Serica, you jerk, I tried really hard. Oh, but still flipping up skirts, huh? I see. I hadn't thought of that, especially because Ito isn't here. Oh no. I overlooked that. What a brilliant idea. I apologize, everybody. We're going positive. I'm sorry. But I couldn't do it here. No, but this might be a good chance to show off my powers. And what's more, Serica, this is your fault to begin with. Do you know how hard I worked just to move one tiny little object? I'd barely gotten a wink of sleep last night. It was the least she could do after all that effort. Ah, damn it. I can't believe we have 2 instances where we're doing this. Oh god, and Serica knows what we're thinking.
そうかいそうかい。そんなに言うなら見せてやろうじゃないか。この僕の力を。
宮代先輩？
悪いけど、今さら後悔しても遅いからな。僕の心に火をつけた自分たちの愚かさを呪うがいい。
Again, I know this is just a fantasy, but this is such an anime cliché thing to say. No one could stop me now. The final encounter of the serious normal path music? Whoa! I concentrated. Wow. A terrible, beautiful Excalibur appeared in the corner of my vision. The power welled forth from deep within me. Come, my Excalibur! Give me power! This is... This music! And he's just gonna lightly flip their skirts. This is the most animation we've had in a while. Whoa! Cool sword. My power lifted up the skirt of every single girl in the school. Wow. I like that it pans, but we can't see anything. You can try to hold down your skirts, but it won't work. No one can stop my power. I love his, like, villain speech. The scene around me was something out of a nightmare. No, a most wonderful dream. Again, it pans to nothing. Every girl in the school is walking around with their skirts blown up now. They're just walking around like that.
どうだ、恐れ入ったか。
さすが宮代先輩です。
これからは僕の言うことは何でも聞くか。
僕の言う通りにするから。
I just love how this is because of a mildly embarrassing ability.
わかった。だったら許してやる。
I forgive you for saying that I can't really lift very many objects with my ability. I slowly lowered my hands and the chaos around me began to subside.
やだ、
さあ約束通り、これからお前たちは僕の言いなりだ。わかったな。
Oof, taking it a step too far, Miyashiro.
はい、タクル様。
Really? Yeah, we're done. If only. Keep in mind, in the normal path, that basically actually happened and was not a trigger delusion.
ねえねえセリ、宮代先輩どうしちゃったん？
Oh no, Seri knows exactly what's gotten into us.
気にしないで、いつものことだから。
Huh, got me there.
であるからして、この場合は天秤よ。
Arimura and I had decided that it would be better not to use my power for a while. No matter what that woman was after, it was very likely that it had something to do with our powers, which meant that I should avoid doing anything that would attract attention. And everybody knew when you had a trump card like this, it was best to master it in secret and play it at the right moment.
これをこの式に代入すると。
Anyway, why was math always such a pain? I wanted information, not formulas. Numbers and formulas were just ideas and didn't provide any benefit at all as information.
こういう時は。
I took out my Pokecom and hid it under my desk, then loaded Shibuya News.
お、どうした宮代？
あ、いや、なんでも。
そうか。じゃあ次の問題解いてみろ。
Oh, damn it. Crap, that was a mistake. But this was big news.
おい、大変だ！ニュースだ、ニュース！
I guess we got through it. I heard the door to the club room fly open and Ito ran inside.
なんだよ、大声で。何落ち着いてんだ、宮代！ニュースなんだよ！それも大ニュース！いいか、よく聞け。なんと例の事件！ニュージェネの再来と呼ばれる一連の事件！あの事件の！犯人が捕まったんだろ？
Oh, so we already just dealt with this.
そうなんだよ！
ん？なんだ？お前知ってたのか？
当たり前だろ。僕を誰だと思ってるんだ？これでも伊達に学園一の状況を自負してるわけじゃない。お前が持ってくる情報くらいとっくの昔に知ってるよ。
So obnoxious.
それじゃあ捕まったやつの情報も。
ハイダリコ18歳無職。昨夜渋谷で多発した放火騒動の中、街中を歩いているところ警官によって確保だろ。
I mean, I know I didn't expect us to go through like 6 chapters worth of content in this true chapter path, but man, this was fast.
なんだ、知ってたのかよ。つまんねえの。今度こそ俺の方が早いと思ったのによ。
Like, we're not even trying the Senri Minawisawa thing this time. There was a whole thing about could that have been Senri? And we're just immediately cutting to it was Riko Haida. Got it. To tell the truth, I just found out about it in math class. But that's how information works. Knowing things first put you at advantage. That said, I was overjoyed to know that the woman who'd attacked me had been arrested. Now I wouldn't have to be afraid of being attacked again.
でもうち的には捕まってよかったのかな。
なんだよ、尾上。それどういうことだよ。
だってさ、事件がもっと大きくなってれば、もっとでっかいスクープをゲットできるチャンスもあったかもしれないでしょ。
I know that Serika's whole motivation is to make us the big hero, but that line sounds weird coming out of her, and even Miyashiro, I think, would have evolved past the point of wanting this.
確かにそうだな。そういう意味では惜しかったとも言えるか。
タク的にはどう？もっと事件を追いたかった？
I wasn't sure. It was true that the bigger this got, the more people would be paying attention.
いや、よかったんじゃないか。
I think it's for the best that the woman who tried to kill me is caught.
なんだ、お前にしては随分消極的な意見だな。もっと起きてくれってんじゃないかと思ったが。
なんだよ。それじゃあまるで僕が凶悪事件を望んでいるみたいじゃないか。いいか、言っておくが、僕はサイコパスじゃない。別に事件が起きることを望んでいるわけではなく、起きてしまった事件の真相の究明こそを望んでいるんだ。
To tell the truth, I was a little disappointed that the case had ended this way, but half of me felt relieved too. Anybody who'd been the target of a murder attempt could understand how terrifying it was for me to have that woman with those strange powers try to kill me. There were ways to deal with a physical attack, but her power violated all the laws of physics. It was a miracle I made it away from her alive at all, so I was honestly glad that woman, Haida, had gotten caught.
まあ、あの女が警察に捕まってしまったことで、全てが警察の手に委ねられてしまうというのは甚だ不本意ではあるが、尾上の言うようにもうちょっと事件が長引いていれば世間の注目も集まっただろうし、そこでビシッと僕が事件を解決していたなら、それはそれでこの新聞部も有名になったんだろうけれど、それも今更言ったって仕方がないことだろう。
待てよ、これってさ、俺たちが追ってた事件は全て終焉を迎えたってことか？
それは。
Before I could give my opinion, the door opened.
ひなえちゃんの登場ですよ。
有村、何しに来たんだよ。
あー、冷たい。共に生死を分ける戦いをくぐり抜けた仲なのに。
ああ、そういや宮代が襲われた時、有村も一緒だったんだっけか？
そうっすよ。こう暗いお姉さんが現れたと思ったら、ドカーンボワードーンって、そりゃもう大変だったんですから。
She was waving her hands in an exaggerated manner as she spoke, but it was impossible to figure out what she was trying to say.
ほー、なるほどなるほど。ここが新聞部ですか。そういえばひなちゃんってここ来るの初めてだっけ？あの日、ほら文化祭の日に来てるけど、あの時はじっくり見たりいじったりできる感じじゃなかったじゃん。
Arimura walked around the room, staring at everything, and stopped in front of the corkboard on the wall.
あ、これかっこいい。海外ドラマみたい
だろ。一応事件のことについてはそれで全部考察を。
ねえねえセリ、これは何？それはね。
She wasn't listening at all.
なあ宮代、さっきの話だけどさ。
ああ、さっきの悪い、何の話だっけ？
だから事件はこれで終わりかってこと。
ああ、そうか。それについては僕も考えてみたんだ。
何の話っす？
Until a moment ago, she was enjoying her conversation with Serica, but now Arimura happily butted into ours.
だから今回の一連の事件についての話だよ。ほら、僕たちを襲った女が捕まっただろ。だから。
捕まったんですか？あの怖い女の人？
なんだよ、知らなかったのか？
She had friends in a lot of places and seemed like she'd really be quick to pick up on new information, so I was surprised to see she was actually a wrong sider. Ugh, come on, man.
なんだよもう。警察も捕まったなら捕まったって教えてくれればいいのに。
まったくだな。こっちは危うく丸焦げになるところだったんだから。
ですよね。利用する時だけ利用して、これだから市民の信用をなくしちゃうんですよ。
まあ警察への文句は置いといてだ。その宮代の考えってのは？
ああ、そうだった。いいか、これまでの事件とこれからのことを総合して考えるとだ。
First there were the murders, and then there were the fires as well. I decided to think about the relationship between the two of them. The first thing I had to do was go over all the cases that had happened so far. All the cases that had happened so far formed what people were calling the return of the new generation madness. The first murder was, don't look at me, the death of Utani, the Nikoniya live streamer, and the second, Leaky Noise, Momone Takayanagi, the anime song singer, and the third was, that's right, Revolving Dead, that's where Arimura's acquaintance Kakita had been killed. I remembered that one clearly as well. I'd been there after all. And the next one, the fourth murder, was another one I'd never forget. Gotsuan Detsu. Again, clever pun, where Watabe the internet reporter had died at the school culture festival. Those are the 4 murders that had happened so far. The problem was what came next. The fires. The fires had happened at... near the Don't Look at Me incident in Jinan, near the Leaky Noise incident in Shinsen, near the Revolving Dead incident around the Love Hotel, near the Gotsuan Deaths incident, in other words, near Hekiho Academy. That's right, the fires were happening regularly near the sites of the New Generation Madness.
以上のことからわかるのは、一連の事件と連続放火事件が非常に近いところで起こっているということだ。
It would be strange to think that they weren't connected somehow. I concluded that the fires were all set by Riko Haida, the pyrokinetic gigalomaniac.
でも、それじゃあ手口が違うのはなんでだ？これまでの事件とは明らかにやり口が違うだろう。
それは。
Why?
そう、これまでの放火事件はあくまでも練習だったんだよ。練習したけどうまくいかなかった。だからこれまでは違う方法を選んでいた。なんだよ、納得できてないって顔だな。意見があるなら言えばいいだろう。
意見っていうかさ。
じゃあ、あの施設はどうなるんです？
Arimura seemed annoyed at Ito's inability to finish his sentence and interrupted with a doubt of her own.
施設って、あの病院の地下にあった施設のことか？
そうです。あそこで行われてた研究。あれは事件と関係なかったって宮代先輩は思うんですか？
それは。
It probably did. But the experiments that were performed down there ended with the earthquake, so it would be strange for her to just suddenly start killing people now. When I told Arimura that, she still didn't look satisfied.
柿田さんのことはご存知ですよね？
あの回転デッドの被害者だよな。確か。
はい。あの人が私の兄の友人だったって話はしましたよね。
I remember that she had.
今だから正直に言いますけど、彼は私たちのような能力者について調べていたんです。そしてその後ろには何か巨大な組織が関わっているかもしれないって。
Oh, interesting.
巨大な組織な。まるで陰謀論だな。で、その組織ってのは？
それを事件のあったあの日に教えてくれる予定でした。ですが。
He died. No, he was murdered.
じゃあ有村は、犯人はあのハイダリコって女じゃないって言いたいのか？
そういうわけじゃないですよ。私には難しいことわかんないし。ただ、仮にあの人が犯人だとしても、裏にはまだ何かあるんじゃないかって、そんな風に思うだけです。
伊藤はどう思う？
まあ確かに組織とか機関とかってのは魅力的な言葉ではあるが、あんまリアリティはねえよな。結局どっちにしても今の状況じゃ判断材料が少なすぎるっつうかさ。
尾上は？
私はそうだな。タクはどう思う？
And turns it right back on me.
質問に質問で返すなよ。
そうだけどさ、私にはわかんないんだもん。
If you don't know, at least try to think about it, okay? Could Arimura call her on that?
しょうがないな。じゃあ僕の意見を言うが、僕はこれ以上襲われるのはごめんだ。だからあの女が犯人だったらいいなって思う。
To be honest, I still thought it was a miracle I'd made it out of that alive. If she'd attacked me when I was asleep, I wouldn't have lasted a minute.
あとは警察の取り調べ次第だろうな。あの女が犯人にしても違うにしても、念のためこれからしばらくの間は気をつけた方がいい。
私もそう思います。お昼も話をしましたけど、特に能力者である私と宮代先輩は用心した方がいいでしょうね。
I silently nodded. Normally I'd want to practice and try to learn to better control my abilities, but it would be smarter to wait and see if the case had ended first.
よし、とりあえずしばらくは慎重に行動するってことで。
And just as we finished, we heard the sound of someone pounding the wall in the corner again. Kazuki's been here the whole time.
たく、またか。おい、カズキ。
She was so busy with the SO2, she couldn't hear us again.
尾上。
オッケー。
Serika nodded, went over to Kazuki, and took off her headphones.
おーい、花ちゃん。壁殴っちゃダメだってタクが。先輩、その人は。
ああ、有村は面識なかったっけ？和樹花1年、うちの部員だよ。
さっきまでそこにいるって全然気づかなかった。
Arimura walked over to her.
チャオス。
Kazuki bowed her head.
私、有村ひなえ。ひなちゃんとかひな先輩って呼んで。あなたは花でいいよね。
She bowed again.
ごめん、声に出してもらえる？
Not this time.
ああ、ダメだよひなちゃん。花ちゃんは喋んないから。そうなの？なんで？宗教上の理由とか？理由は知らないけど喋らないんだよね。ねえ。
She bowed.
一言も？一言も。そうなんだ。ま、それはそれでいっか。楽だし。じゃあそういうことで。お近づきの印にシェイクハンド。
In English. Kazuki was still hesitant, but Arimura grabbed her hand and swung it around. That was probably her version of a handshake. What surprised me was that Kazuki didn't seem upset. I'd thought that she'd resist Arimura's attempt to force them to be friends, but she seemed kind of embarrassed. But then something amazing happened.
これからもよろしくね、花。
As Arimura swung her arm around,
よろしくかも。
whoa. This is not a trigger delusion.
おい、今のって。
カズキが喋った？
The whole room shouted in amazement. We'd known Hana for about 6 months, and this was the first time we'd heard her voice. But Hana herself seemed more surprised than anyone. It felt like she didn't intend to speak, but had just been caught up in Arimura's energy.
なんだ、可愛い声してるじゃん。もっと喋ればいいのに。ねえ、もう一回喋って。せーの、はい。いいじゃん、いいじゃん。ちょっとだけでいいからさ。
She wasn't going to say anything else, it seemed.
まさか、あの和樹が。
I like that even Serika, I know Serika's been really good at feigning surprise the entire game, but even so, this is probably real.
本当に喋れたんだね。
何よりも恐ろしいのは有村のテンションだな。
Everything we talked about that day seemed pretty important, but it was all blown away by our shock at Kazuki actually speaking.
終わった。
Wow, that was amazing. But for now, it's time to stop the installment. Well, we certainly made a lot of progress today, didn't we? We speedran the Riko Haida consequences. She's just arrested now, I guess. I don't know if she's going to come back or what. We can't have a reveal again of who done it, because we already beat the game. This is the Arimura chapter. Who knows where this is going to go? But more importantly, Kazuki talked for real. I can't even believe it. I don't know what to expect anymore. Until next time, everyone.